Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. It's me, Jackstar360, and today we're doing another tutorial. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make 3 different types of doors in Obby Creator, and behind me there is something. I have no idea, but I put there something. I ask future me. Anyway, let's get straight into the video. I can't wait to show you the third door. It's super amazing, a super cool design, and I learned it from this super cool guy. Let's get straight into it. Alright, so to start out, we're going to start with one of the most basic doors. The door that like most people use, some form of this. You walk into it, it's a fading part, it fades away, and it reappears. It's just a normal little fading door. And that's cool and all, you can decorate it however you want, but that's just kind of boring. But it works for anyone who's just wanting to do a little simple thing. Pretty cool, it works really nice, and it's definitely a good door. Alright, on to door number 2. Alright, so door number 2 is a little bit more complex. Yes, it's a fading part, and it fades when you touch it, but it also incorporates this really cool button effect with it. Basically, you walk up and you touch the button, it changes color, and the door disappears. And you can walk through, and it works together. And yeah, you can just touch the door itself, but it's still a really nice door. I see it used a lot for if someone's making like a laboratory game. And of course, it works on both sides. I'm going to show you how to make it right now. Alright, so to start out, get yourself a part. And the door can be as wide as you want it. But I'm going to just make it super thin for this time. And then you're going to want to make it at least as tall as the character, if not taller. Then copy that piece and bring it over to the other side for as wide as you want the door. That's going to work out for me. Next, go ahead and get yourself a fading part. Bring it in and place it right in the middle. Click on it and scale it to about the size of the door. You're going to want to actually make it slightly smaller though. So go into settings, go up to the snap to grid area with the move, and just set that to 0. It will automatically set to the lowest setting possible. Then simply scale it in 1 stud, well, like 1/100th of a stud, on both sides. Then go ahead and set it back. You can just click on it and then hit enter. This works on mobile too, and it'll just set back to the normal default. And then drag the part over to right about here. Because of the way that everything works, like with Roblox, and the size of the actual character, no matter what your character looks like, walking into this wall will actually, it makes your character touch the fading part even though you can't see it. And that's basically the idea. You're just touching a side, like over here, and then you can go through. The rest is just making a button. Buttons are very simple, and I'm going to show you how to make them right now. So just like maybe take this piece, copy it, and bring it out a little bit. Then make it much smaller. Make it, usually you go square. You can also go circular though. It's like slightly more complex, but you basically have to change the block to a cylinder. It's not too complicated. So make that like that, just a little square. Set your snap to grid back to 0, because you have to be pretty precise for this unless you want it to look super blocky. And then drag that back to about, so it should be about 15, this part, or it'll be this side. And you want it to be about that thin. Then simply drag it back and drag it onto the other side as well until it's sticking out the other side. And it should be just about even on both sides. Once you've done that, set it to the color you want for after you press the button. So for now, I'm just going to go yellow. So after you click the button, it's just going to be bright yellow. Next, take your fading part again and copy it. I'm just doing this so I don't have to go and bring in another fading part. and you're going to want to scale it to just about the same size. This is very important, so like you want to get it as close to the same size as possible so it looks like you're actually pressing the button. So, but make it slightly bigger so that you can't actually see the back button when it's fully surrounded. So just slightly bigger than it would normally be. Like this and like this. Once you've made sure that you can't see any of that color, go to the other side and you just have to bring it out until you can't see the yellow. And there you go. Now, simply set the color of this fading part to the color you want it to start at. So I'm going to set it to red. Okay. There you go. That's the entire door. What I did was I added this little thing around it. It's just another part that I put around it, and I made it so you walk through it. You don't have to do that. That's just a little aesthetic thing you can do if you feel like it. So now you click the button, it changes color, and the door opens. Really cool trick, but it's still pretty simple. Let's move on to number 3. You guys are gonna love this. Alright, we're on to door number 3, and you can already see it's very different. This is definitely a build for more advanced people who want to make something that looks more, well, better. So this is a button door, just like the other one, but you touch the door and nothing happens. It's solid. You then click the button, the door moves over to the side and reappears. This is one of the most impressive doors I've ever seen, and it was, well, I don't know if it was made by him, but I learned this from this guy, Sonic, from this amazing dude, XX Sonic Hedgehog XXYT. His name will be on the screen right now, as well as the code to the obby he made, which I actually saw this from. He's working on it. It's all about this door, and it's like, so far it's really well made. So you just click on the door, it moves, you go through, bada bing, bada boom. Now, to show you how it works. It's very complex, so I'm not going to completely rebuild it, but I'm going to show you what is going on with this door. So, to begin, the door itself, it's actually a push block. It's in here, it's in moving parts. It's right here, push block. It's pretty much just a push block on a conveyor. The conveyor is the thing actually pushing it to the side. And what's basically going on is the push block starts right here, where my mouse is. It's on the conveyor, and it moves all the way across, and is then launched off the side of the map. There's other ways to reset the push block, but this is the simplest one. So this is definitely the one you're going to want to go with. So it's constantly just launching itself off, and that's how the door works. That's why you can't walk through it. And what I've done to make it stop is there's actually a large fading part right here. Here, I'm going to make it non-transparent. There is a fading part right here. And it's just like the button door, because there's also a button there. You simply run into it, and it fades away, and then resets itself. It's basically the button door. The button is just there for aesthetics, and it doesn't actually do anything. This fading part is actually the thing keeping the door from sliding off. And so when you hit the button, you don't actually see the fading part, but you touch the fading part, and it releases the door to launch off to the side. And so, like this, you hit it, it fades, and the door is launched off. then resets on the other side, and swings back in. It's a very, very complex looking build, but it's actually really simple, and it's super useful for making laboratory stuff. These two walls, like the walls, are just holding the push block from falling over. And sometimes this will happen if the player does something to interfere. All you have to do is the player has to walk off the edge, or if you're testing it and you don't feel like walking off the edge or something, or like leaving the obby, you can just move it over and move it back, and it fixes itself. Because I mean, it's a little bit broken, but it works really well. I definitely recommend tweaking the size of the walls and how much space it has to move, speed of the conveyor belt. Right now, I have the conveyor belt at a speed of 10. I find that works pretty well, although I know that the person I learned this from, I didn't actually learn it from him. I saw his door, and I figured it out. But the person I learned it from, he had it at 100, so it just zoomed off the side. It was a really big, like, wall, and it started at the end and zoomed all the way over to the other end. So I definitely recommend checking out that obby, although at the time of me releasing this video, that obby is not out. I also definitely recommend, if you're not doing like a full giant wall that's going across, you make sure that each thing is like a separate room, like I've done right here. But that's pretty much it. Basically, push block on conveyor, held in place by two walls, and stopped by a fading part. That's all you really need to know. These wedges right here, they're there, and like this top piece, that's there to make sure that while it's moving across, it doesn't kind of like get pushed out, and so that the player can't just like run into it and push it. I also recommend having it slightly bigger than the actual doorway itself, but you can just figure it out yourself and do whatever you want with it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this tutorial or want to see more, make sure you like the video. Go ahead and comment down below if you have any other tutorials you want to see, or I can even come to your obby and build something for you. Make sure it's not like something super big. Like, I'm not going to build the entire obby for you. That's up to you, but I will help you out with building small models and stuff. Like, a recent fan commented in my video, and so I came in and I built him a fountain. It's a really cool fountain. But that's all for today. Make sure you subscribe if you want to see more tutorials or just gameplay videos in general. I'm doing all sorts of stuff. I guess that's it. So, Jackstar, out.